The MLG Winter Championships are coming up, guys. Dallas, Texas on March 15th. If you're planning on going, purchase your pass online right now. You get $15 off versus if you purchase at the door. Of course, $50 at the door, $35 if you buy right now online. Store.majorleaguegaming.com. Stop procrastinating and get that done. If you're not planning on going, plan on going because it's going to be amazing. It's going to be one of the best esports events of all time. I'm super excited for it, and we're trying to find out who's going to be there with today's Winter Season Showdown. Of course, just a reminder, Demaga versus Grubby happened. Demaga won, but Demaga can't make it to the championship event, so we're having a last chance bracket for all of the losers, the losing Europeans of their previous Winter Season Showdowns. Hopefully that makes sense. But shall we continue on with the bracket?
Yes, we shall. There's 3 players left right now. We're about to jump into a match that will bring it down to 2. Mana versus Feast. The winner of this will go on to face Grubby. The loser will have to stay and watch Dallas from the sidelines with no chance to win any of that $75,000 prize pool.
A lot on the line here. Again, all best of ones in this last chance bracket. In the top left-hand location, we have the red Protoss player from Team Mouse. He is Mana. His opponent in the bottom left of Entombed Valley, the blue Protoss player who was able to defeat Snute in the round before this, in the last chance qualifier for the European region. He is Feast from Team Millennium. Another PvP on our hands. Very intriguing PvPs we've been having.
Yes. The airplay definitely seems to be the theme of the PvPs. Of course, Mana, we haven't seen him play yet today. Feast, we just saw defeat Snute there. Mana lost to Bly earlier in the Winter Season Showdowns.
Yeah.
And Bly is a really exciting player. I'm really interested to see him play in Dallas because he has a style of his own, very aggressive, almost like July-esque style, like the old school God of War. You know, you think you're coming for me, you know, but I know I'm coming for you. The army comes out, he jumps it before a time attack even hits him. He plays the game at his own pace. Mana couldn't quite keep up, but he's got the second chance here. Mana versus Feast on Entombed Valley. And, you know, Mana's a very good player. You know, he was one of those guys who got a Code A spot because of how darn good he was. Like, there was, in Wings of Liberty, he's definitely one of the top couple Protosses outside of Korea.
Yeah, definitely, at least in Europe. Top 3 Protoss, I would say, in Europe. And both these guys dropped down to this bracket, losing to Zerg players. Of course, Feast losing to Rhett, Mana losing to Bly. But now we'll have to see how good their PvP is. Should be a very interesting game. Again, winner advances on to play Grubby in the finals of this last chance bracket. We see Feast opening up with a Twilight Council. And Mana, does he have any tech down just yet? Nope, just getting a Mothership Core out.
Mana going for, looks like that Stalker Militia pressure we saw Titan used. Feast going for most likely what will be a Dark Templar Rush. Dark Templar Rush, very strong opening in Harder Swarm. It's much easier to transition out of it. It's much easier to defend aggression while going for it because at 100 extra gas you're saving off the lower Dark Shrine cost. Oh,
Mana overextending one of his Stalkers a little bit, going to be scurrying away, but losing that HP.
Yes, losing a little bit of damage, but okay, good. Feast is very smart, knows he has to pull back. Whenever you're on a single gateway and your opponent could potentially be having more than a single gateway, you can't extend too far because if they warp in behind your lines, you're going to be in big trouble. Feast going for 4-gate Dark Templar. He's also got proxy pawns coming up on the left side of the map.
I'm worried for Mana here.
One of the big things is, can Mana get in here and get a good trade and kind of take the steam out of Feast's attack?
Trying to get that Mothership Core close enough.
3 Stalkers and a Mothership Core. Where does Feast have? Only 2 Stalkers.
3 Gateways about to finish, though, and his Dark Shrine.
He's going to have 3 Stalkers, but there's 3 Stalkers and a Mothership Core on Mana's side. Mana should have the stronger force here until the Warp Gate's complete, but Warp Gate completes just now.
Yeah, for both players. So we're going to have 2 Gateways worth of reinforcements here from Feast. 3 from... no, 3 from Feast, excuse me. 4 from Feast. Hold on. All right, he 4-gated. Mana with 2. And, oh, the pylon was spotted. He warped in. Oh, there's another pylon.
He's warped in 3 DTs and a Stalker on the other side, only sending in 1. The other one's staying back. Of course, there's an observer there.
No force field. Is he going to target the sentries? I would almost do that. but he's going to go straight for the probe line.
He's going straight for those probes.
Oh, the force field not able to
sneaks around the force field. DT doing damage, forcing probes off the mining. And this is going to be so hard for Feast because as he can stop this 1DT, there's going to be a massive time hitting him. Archon has already been warped in to bust the force field. So many Stalkers are at Feast's disposal. Man, it's getting down the ramp. He might get caught off guard.
Well, there's no sentry here from Feast. He's going to try to retreat, but I don't think there's any retreating. Just use the Stalkers to prevent that retreat from happening. Time Warp going down onto that army from Feast. Going to slow the movement of those Stalkers, but the Archon desperately trying to force his way through that Time Warp to get his damage done. The Mothership Core falls. The sentry falls. Only 3 Stalkers, actually 3 Stalkers left, 1 Stalker left. And Feast, just like that, clearing up those Stalkers. Archon's going to crush any force field, and what does Mana have to defend?
He's got a single Stalker. He does have 2 Warp Gates ready. No Immortal out. 2 Zealots in the Stalker. Warping another Zealot. The probes have to run. They're clumping up. If the Archon can take out a couple with a single shot.
Yeah, he's going to take down a lot of probes, and now the probes are going to force to try to fight something they never want to do. Mana definitely caught off guard by this 4-gate aggression, and Feast showing us another powerful PvP build here in the winter season showdowns. He's at 45 to 19 in supply mana. Unfortunately, he's going to lose this game. There's the GG, there's the well played. And now we have our 2 finalists determined for the for this last chance bracket. Nice build there from Feast.
It is. You know, the way those 2 builds work is the player who has the 3 Stalker core rush, they've got to, if there's no sentry, they've got to go up the ramp and get a trade because you've got the advantage, you've got the extra unit, and you can get a beneficial trade. And if you take out 3 of their Stalkers and lose like 2 years, then of course they warp and you have to retreat. But any damage you can do early on takes a lot of the sting out of the attack. And then, of course, if you went up, he would have recognized, he would have seen all the gateways finishing. He didn't actually get to see those gateways.
Yeah, he did.
If he saw the 3 gateways finishing, he would know exactly what it is. The timing of that can only be a 4-gate Dark Templar rush. He can back up, create a wall on top of his ramp, and he knows exactly what's going on. But he didn't identify the build, and then he went down his ramp and just got caught off guard.
Yeah, and another instrumental part of that is, of course, getting the pylon on your opponent's side of the map. You know, Mana was able to scout one of the pylons, but what Feast did really well there was add on 2 additional ones, even closer to his opponent's base. So even, you know, Mana might have been thinking, ooh, I found this pylon. There were 2 more that he wasn't able to discover, and then, of course, Feast taking advantage of that, able to warp those units very close to his opponent's main, able to get that damage done, able to take his opponent off guard with those 4 gates, and, of course, the Archons. When you get those early, they're scary. They can crush force shields. It's very hard to deal with those in PvP if you're not perfectly prepared, as you said, potentially with the wall on the top of your ramp. That might be the only answer to that kind of play. But that's going to conclude that game, which means we have the final ready to go. It's going to be Grubby versus Feast. The winner of this PvP best of 1 will advance to the Winter Championship in Dallas, Texas on March 15th. Unfortunately, for the other players, they're out.
That is true.
But Grubby or Feast?
Arena. 6 contestants ran in there. Single elimination. 4 have had their heads lopped off. Grubby and Feast, excuse me, are last 2 left. Yep. 1 last duel to the death. 1 last best of 1 to see who gets that spot in Dallas.
Yeah, guys. Coming up next, Grubby versus Feast. Stay tuned.